let me introduce my very first guest. His name is Dennis Mungai Mbogwa. Karibu sana to the show. You're a spoken word artist.
Yes.
It's really good to have you here. You write and perform your own poems, and he's studied the scriptures for a whole year to refresh his spiritual knowledge. Wow, that's very commendable. What set you on course to do that?
Well, I realized that I didn't want to do any other poetry other than godly poetry, because when I listen to art and it doesn't have God in it, I feel it's so empty. So I decided that I will do gospel poetry because it has something inside of it. Yes, I do conscious things, but with God inside, it has life. It is alive. So in my thirst to give people life, I decided, why not do it, get this life of Christ in me first, then I can give people what I have, not just speak of things I've had.
Well done, well done. And so you were studying them on your own, or did you go to a place to study the scripture? Did you follow a certain curriculum?
Well, let's say it was more of me understanding God from a personal perspective. It was not, I wasn't studying in a school, it was just my own. I wanted the relationship with God, to have my own relationship with God. Then from there, I would get the revelation to share.
All right. And you're really passionate about poetry, it sounds like. You actually successfully initiated the Meru University weekly Sunset Poetry, and you also worked as a spoken word trainer at St. Columban's Kitale.
Yes.
I've never even heard of a spoken word trainer.
Oh, spoken word was introduced last year into the curriculum of campus and campus and even high school.
Oh, wow.
So I was training the high school kids.
Like you're teaching them how to be spoken word poets?
Well, it's in them, so I was just nurturing what's in them to bring out the best in them.
And what is sunset poetry at Meru University?
Sunset poetry was the desire to have an event. Like, I came to Nairobi and I saw there is poetry after lunch, which happens weekly. So I wanted to have my own event there in Meru, so that I wouldn't be so that I would quench that thirst to perform, because there is always that thirst in us to share, but without an audience, it's in vain.
Yeah.
So it was a struggle, but eventually I managed.
Wow. And how did you get into poetry in the first place? I mean, is it something that you'd say is like an inherent talent, the way some people, they can just sing, some people just poets, or did you, I don't know, how was this your interest?
Well, I knew I could write from a young age, but I didn't know what I was gonna write. And then I had those imaginations of, wow, I admire poetry from a young age, but I didn't know what it was all about. I didn't know it was in me. But when I got saved in 2012, it was on May 2019. After I got saved, I decided that I would preach.
Wow.
I just couldn't stop myself from preaching.
Eish.
When 2013 came, I told God, I don't want just to be a preacher, I want to have a talent. And then poetry came towards the end of 2013.
All right.
So it came as a result of pressures, exams, people bullying me mentally, and then I needed
Bullying you?
Yeah, mentally.
For what?
As in, okay, for me, something, I was in those, people look at me and they will be like, mdhaifu and stuff, because I have a small body. And they will call me names.
But they don't know you have a big spirit.
It's the grace of God.
Amen. Oh, wow. All right. So, now you've done live performances in a lot of different places. How has that reception been? And now that you've been doing this for a couple of years, how do you feel Kenyans are embracing more poetry, specifically Christian gospel poetry?
Well, I can say it's a start.
Okay.
It's a start.
You're so diplomatic. I love it's a start. So you're like, man, it's rough out here, but it's a start.
Yeah, it's a start.
Okay. What were some of the things that you would like to see, happen? Or what do you think would be some of the things that would help, some of the factors that would help increase that sort of appreciation?
I think if preachers could start to see poetry just beyond the entertainment part of it, then they will see the gospel hidden in it. And if also artists themselves, if they embraced content, because for those of us who are grown in poetry, you'll realize people write content. But for those of us who just started the other day, yes, they can write, but they haven't nurtured the content in them. They don't know how to always bring it out.
Yeah.
So for them, it's like I want to be a celeb thing, but it's not about that.
Yeah.
It's about knowing that it came to you with a purpose. Like for me, back then, God told me that poetry is powerful. He didn't tell me poets are powerful. He told me poetry is powerful, and what I have is powerful. So that meant you use it cautiously.
Yeah, and we should apply that everywhere. Media is powerful, but not being a media personality, or music, not being a musician. I think that's a very good pointer that people should apply everywhere. And so, you know, as you are continuing in this journey, you talked about pastors and sort of you would like for them to sort of embrace poetry as a way of spreading the gospel, which you're already doing. But do you mean on like the actual church platforms? Is that what you'd like to see?
Because I can't sing in keys. I'd love to be part of the praise and worship, but I can't sing in keys.
Yeah.
I can sing with these keys, but if you let me play these chords and they do the words, you'll be amazed.
Okay.
So
And I mean,
so I felt that this ministry should be given a platform in every church.
have you spoken to your pastors already?
My pastor has already given me a platform.
Nice.
Every Sunday, God has granted me the grace. I have a new piece to share
Oh,
in my
wow.
church.
Which church is that? Lazima to shout out to your pastor.
Word of Destiny, Rongai.
Word of Destiny. Watu wa Rongai mazee, come out on Sunday and see this guy. Shen, uende kanisani on Sunday. Word of Destiny.
Yeah.
Word of Destiny. Mazee Jemo will be there, and we'd be very excited to see that, of course. And a good encouragement and a challenge to a lot more churches. So you also have an event coming up, and I'm going to be asking you to do something for us very shortly. But you have an event coming up.
Yes, I do.
Tell us about
this
it.
Sunday. This Sunday we are having an event called As African As I Am. And it's about reminding us to be African and not embracing cultures that are not our own. Because yes, you embrace things, but they're not. That's just not us. Why not do us? Why not let the world emulate us? Why should we emulate the world? Alafu, there is something I learned yesterday during the Pamoja Fellowship. There is a Pamoja Fellowship I mentioned there.
Okay.
Pamoja Fellowship is run by Ruben Kigame. And yeah, but there he gave me a platform to host a weekly poetry event from 4 p.m. every Thursday at Ramoth Foods Restaurant along Koinangelen. You can see it on my Facebook, Evangelical Poet. So, oh yeah, what was I? Where were we? Come on, just remind me.
Oh, that chekesha wewe. But
Oh yeah.
your event.
Oh, the event. The event was, oh yeah. Westernism, Christianity is not Westernism.
Yeah.
Christianity is actually from the East. Jesus was in Egypt. He was not in America. He was in Egypt. So stop
Yeah.
saying that Christianity is a white thing. It's not a white thing. God is real and everything about him is real. But as much as that is concerned, let us embrace our cultural differences, our cultural diversities. Let us go African.
Yeah.
As in,
Yeah.
tumechoka kucopy lifestyles za watu wengine.
No,
We
it's
have
true.
lifestyles.
It's true. It's
And
true.
they're cool.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And very unique and powerful and beautiful.
Oh, and the tickets go at 300 shillings. You can just inbox me at my Facebook page, Evangelical Poet. For those of you who are on Instagram, Evangelical Poet is still my nini. At Munga the Epistle, the Pauline Epistle, yeah.
Inasema tulikuwa umejipanga ati. Mimi nimeketi tu hapa ukiendelea. But it's good. I like your confidence. And you know, hata mimi nimeokoka, Yesu ni Bwana. Kidogo kidogo niliona unaanza kupreach hapa, karibu nikukatie. But tell us about your family and your friends, you know. How involved are they sort of in your gifting for someone who's young and wants to be in your shoes right now? Okay,
I'm laughing because of how I'm going to answer that question.
Oh, okay. Well, tell me then.
Well, for a start, Support is not the biggest word to use,
Okay.
but the fact that eventually they agreed that I'm a poet.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom came to terms with that.
Okay.
Okay, you know, but then we artists have made art look so much worldly that they kept us from art because they
were
wanted to
afraid.
keep us from worldliness,
Yeah.
not because art is bad.
Yeah.
But then there is a piece I've already written about that. I'll post it on YouTube, God willing, anytime soon. So Nini, yeah, Nini. So I guess that's a big reason as to why they kept us from that. And also Kenyans, most of us like, why aren't we buying tickets? I mean, these events are the only things we are selling. I'm not selling kuku, I'm not selling eggs, I'm selling tickets for my event. You listening to me is
No,
what
you're
pays
right.
me. Alafu, by the way, also, I have a little beef with media.
Oh, guy.
Oh, okay. Media, you guys,
You guys, no,
yeah,
just say media.
okay. Media without art, I doubt if I would watch TV. So I think everyone should, at the end of the day, give back to us what belongs to us.
Okay, lakini ujue umepewa ka platform hapa Full Circle with guy natuanishwa on my own show. Hey,
But
haya.
I'm an upcoming media personality. I'm doing broadcast journalism, so I'm gonna just do this.
Love it. Oh my gosh, Full Circle with Dennis coming soon. But Dennis, hey, Maze, your personality is very interesting. You're very outspoken, clearly, as a poet, very confident, and I like that. I appreciate it. And I know I was chuckling, but I'm an artist as well, and certainly Kenyans, support Kenyan talent, support one another. It takes a lot of courage and guts to put yourself out there. So I certainly agree with you on that point. Lakini wewe, I think your other life ni mchungaji, tena wale wapitisha sadaka. Hiyo time utaprosper sana.
Sadaka. Okay,
unaweza nini sana. But anyway, let's have you perform a piece for us. So what are you gonna play us and perform?
Oh, I'm gonna...
Just one.
Okay. This piece was actually inspired by what was supposed to be on TV, but it was never aired, but it was still spoken publicly.
Okay.
But I won't mention names.
All right. What's the piece called?
Well, let's call it what? Let's call it.
Oh, it's nameless. It's fine.
I don't
Doesn't
have
have
a name for him.
That's okay. That's okay. Go ahead.
It's called I Believe.
Okay.
On Wednesday, 28th of August 2019, a former secular then gospel musician and now currently an MC, goes on to speak publicly about Christianity, calls it a dying philosophy, goes on to say things that I might want to go to war with and judge, but no. He called it philosophy because someone mentioned it to him and he believed. How Christianity is no longer a religion but just something that we subscribe to in different lights of time. He went on to cite how the present day parent has raised children that wouldn't want to grow up into religious personalities. A simple conviction that may as well put the lives of the weak in faith in jeopardy, worried that one day what they subscribe to as faith is gonna be null and void. And why will he say that? And why will they think that? He will say so because our society as we know it got itchy ears that fake prophets get to entertain in their pursuit of riches and paying bills as we call it. Dear fellow believers, what happened to us? What happened to our relationship with Christ? What happened to us proclaiming publicly that Jesus is Lord?
Shall we now be ashamed of God as Kenyans are ashamed of being black? Shall we neglect the faith and bleach our faith in order to fit in? Have we forgot the love of God, dear Christians? The love of God that binds us, the love of God that sees beauty in our ashes, the love of God that transpires between creator and creation, the love of God that knows no shame but instead of shame has given us double portion. We have ceased to speak the gospel valiantly with our lives and it's disheartening. But nevertheless, the gospel as we know it has stood the test of time. We might want to go to war with it and judge it. We might want to go to war with it and joke about it. They may seem as if gone are the fluorescence of faith in our time. But remember the time of Elijah, how he sought to think that the chosen nation of God had fully rejected God. And God told him how he sees in Israel 7,000 faithful men with whom he is well pleased, because God has always kept a remnant for himself. For in whom God lives, he is faithful to himself.
Wow, Dennis, I have to cut you short, but that is beautiful. Wow, well done. You're very passionate. Dennis Boga, everybody, thank you so much for coming through to Full Circle with Joyce. Again, he has an event this Sunday at Rongai. Remind me the church?
No, the event is Michael Joseph Center, Westlands.
Michael Joseph Center, Westlands, 300 ball.
Tickets 300 advance, but Nini gets 500.
All right. Dennis, thank you so much. God bless you.
Pleasure.
Thank you for sharing your gift with us.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Unfortunately, I had to cut that short because our time is running out. But coming up next, I'm going to have a classical violinist in studio. Stay tuned.